a retro gamer and hobbyist artist with a lot of nerve. Crowlister, the master of ponage. Hi guys, Crowlister here with another Pac-Man video. In this video, I will be doing a showcase let's play of Pac-Man Museum Plus. Originally on the Nintendo Switch, as well as PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, though as you can see in the thumbnail, I am playing it on the new hardware, where it does run a bit better, as I'll explain while I'm playing. Alright, so, here we go. I'll just run around the arcade and take a while to show you my customization. It didn't take long for me to make up all the missions and get the gold pass again, really. So, I even have all the gold figures. Nice, huh? Alright, so this is going to work like the ones I did before for Namco Museum Switch and Archives Volume 1, and the 57 Namco games on Arcade Archives that I did before. I'm just gonna play each game for a brief moment, as in just a couple of stages, so that you can just see the games, before moving on to the next one. So first off, of course, is the original Pac-Man. If you have the gold pass, which you get for completing all the missions, your tokens that you get in the game will not decrease as you insert credits to play the arcade cabinet games, which is pretty convenient to know. You all know the original 1980 arcade Pac-Man, right? Not much I need to say here. You just eat all the dots while avoiding the ghosts. And each stage is identical to the previous one with increased difficulty as you go forward. There are power pellets that allow you to attack the ghosts temporarily and get extra points. You get more points for eating them in succession without eating another power pellet first. On latter stages, they will wear off faster, and if you go really deep into the game, they'll stop working altogether, other than forcing the ghosts to reverse their direction. In Pac-Man Museum Plus, you can use save states. Kinda. If you exit the game while you're playing it, that says it supports pause saving. You can go back to the game and select continue from pause data, and that allows you to start the game on the stage you previously made it at. You can do it at the moment you get caught by the ghosts, and restart the stage if you want to try and pause buffer your way through, and see more of the game. There's also the bonus fruit, which appears after eating enough of the Pac dots, and then again once in the stage. Get it before it disappears for extra points, if you wish. There is only one score extend, so, play smart while playing this game. After you game over, go back to the game room to collect tokens, based on the kind of score you get. If you get 10 tokens, it means you did a fantastic job, score-wise. Of course, I'm never gonna get that playing the original Pac-Man. Legitimately. That's why I'm gonna play this game in this video. Alright, moving on to what is my favorite arcade Pac-Man game, Super Pac-Man. This one's easier than the others, in my opinion, though definitely still fun. We're gonna eat all the fruit or food targets in the maze while avoiding the ghosts. And in addition to power pellets, there are also super pellets, which enlarge you, giving you immunity to the ghosts. And you can also bash through the doors and hold the button down to increase your movement speed. These wear out quicker the further you progress in the game. of course. So, you can also do that with the superpower and power pellet combo, if you really want to be cheap to the ghosts. Within 4 batches of stages and between bonus rounds, memorize what doors are opened by what keys. That'll help you do well in this game. The bonus stages, you have to quickly eat all of the food targets while automatically super Pac-Man. Try to use super speed and get around the corners as well as you can. So there's Super Pac-Man. Super Pac-Man is not available from the beginning. You have to play a couple of games of Pac-Man Original before you can play it. Alright, here's Pac Pal, which is undoubtedly made on Super Pac-Man's engine. Flip over cards and collect the food targets before Miru does, and use the special objects to disable the ghosts temporarily. If you get all of the targets, you get a big point bonus. So you get less points if Miru takes any of them away. So, just remember that only 3 cards maximum can be turned over, and it can be pretty difficult to remember what cards open what doors. This makes Pac Pal much more difficult than Super Pac-Man. If you memorize how the orange space in the middle works, you can dodge the ghosts if you hang around there. Curse you, Miru. You took away one of my resources for self-defense. Yeah. Then there are these bonus rounds where you overturn cards for extra points. You stop if you reveal the ghost. If you reveal Miru, your point value will double. Not my best. To unlock Pac Pal, you need to play a couple of games of the game we're going to play next, which is Pac-Land. I said before, I'm not really a huge fan of Pac-Land, because the game's a bit more trolly than it looks, especially in the later trips. This is a platformer game where you move Pac-Man through Pac-Land in order to take a ferry back home, and then return home again himself, while avoiding the ghosts. This game is thoroughly inspired by the Hanna-Barbera Pac-Man cartoon back in the early 80s. There are a lot of secrets in the game as well that you can memorize where they are to take advantage of for more points and better survival. Hey look, a flower bloomed. Nice. There is an alteration in this game in Pac-Man Museum Plus, in that they remove the crosses from the building in the background at the end of the stages, undoubtedly for religious reasons. And of course, at the end of every trip, the original Pac family had to be changed due to licensing issues with CGE and apparently ad games. So, we're just gonna have to live with that, people, moving forward. You always want to jump at the end of the stage for extra bonus points. If done right, that is. If you stay put for a while or go backwards, there will be a purple ghost named Sue that'll chase you. You can see her there. Alright, that's enough with the planes spawning. Seriously, this game's not that great in my opinion. It's a lot harder than it looks, that's for sure. It's still a cool concept, though, and it's believed that this game inspired the concept of Super Mario Bros. 1985. Which, by the way, next month in September is that game's 40th anniversary. While crossing the lakes with the springboard jump, you have to spam the move forward button while you descend in order to make the jump. That's a vital tip you need to know in order to progress past stage 3 in this game that literally no compilation mentions. After returning the ferry home, you get magical boots that allow Pac-Man to jump in the air more than once. You lose them if the spurt happens. Once all the packs at the bottom of the screen run out, which does happen for granted on one of the trips. So, you gotta get back home quickly. There she is, Pac-Mania. Yeah, right. Still, can't mess with licensing issues. Alright, Pac-Mania, a 3D Pac-Man game released in 1987, and one of the hardest Pac-Man games in my opinion. In my arcade archives play of the game, I did the international version. This game only supports the Japanese version, which has more stages within each world. So it's longer and considerably harder. Although the game cabinet defaults the difficulty for the international version as hard, interestingly. So yeah, you move Pac-Man around and eat all the dots, as always, while avoiding the ghosts. And in this game, you can jump over the ghosts to avoid them, which can be useful, though they do counter that by having more than 4 ghosts in all the latter stages, including Funky and Spunky that jump at the moment that you do, in Sandbox Land and Jungly Steps. So you gotta watch out for them as you play the latter stages of this game. You can see the characteristics of the ghosts on the left side of the screen while playing Museum Plus. And even then, they get the characters Blinky and Clyde mixed up, because they had to reverse the characters' identities in the Hanna-Barbera cartoon. And subsequently, a lot of the later Pac-Man games after that, until the more recent ones. I wonder if Blinky and Clyde are gonna have to have their names swapped for the new Pac-Man World Repack because of the bosses, Blinky's Killer Frog and Clyde in the Caldera. We're gonna have to wait and see about that, huh? At least in Pac-Man World 1 Repack, the red ghost is Blinky and the orange ghost is Clyde. And then Sue appears in it, and then you got Funky and Spunky, which are the jumping ghosts. In the Japanese version of the game, they're called Common. It can be pretty difficult to locate where the missing Pac dots are unless you clear blocks around, since you can't see the whole maze all at once, and that also makes the ghosts very difficult to see where they're at as well, which is mainly why I struggle in this game. In Pac-Man World, for the mazes, I always zoom out for that reason. So yeah, that's Pac-Mania. You must play Pac-Mania a couple of games before you can play Pac-Man Arrangement Arcade, which is one of the best games in the set for obvious reasons. I'm waiting very patiently, Hamster Corporation, for Namco Classic Collection to both come to Arcade Archives. No need to rush. The Namco Classic Collection cabinets had 3 retro games each that have an awesome arrangement mode that you're definitely not going to want to miss playing. Here's the Pac-Man one. Just clear the dots while avoiding the ghosts, and beware of the new ghost Kinky, which will meld with the other ghosts and mutate them, giving them each a unique special ability to hinder you even more. And there are a wide array of different power-ups that you can use to your advantage as well. Like this. Wow, the game crashed! That's never happened to me before. Hope it's not a bad omen. Alright, let's try this again. There are various power-ups that make the game stages a lot more convenient to play through. If you luck out and get a bunch of good power-ups, you can get through the stage relatively quickly. Some stages have dash arrows, which allow you to stun ghosts. Use them wisely because they disappear. There are also stages that have staircases in them. You cannot go in the opposite direction of the staircase on the stages that do have them, while you're already climbing or going down on them. So. Pac-Man Arrangement is such a fantastic game. Both of them are. So. The final of the arcade cabinet games is Pac-Man Battle Royale, which I haven't heard much about, though I do know that this was in the original Pac-Man Museum on the Xbox 360, which is similar to Pac-Man Museum Plus. This is a multiplayer free-for-all game, somewhat similar to Pac-Man Championship Edition. The mazes work like they do in Pac-Man CE, except it goes on until there's only one Pac-Man standing, and you can, in fact, eat the opposing Pac-Man after eating a power pellet to end the round. In Pac-Man Museum Plus, the score goes by how many Pac dots you eat, as opposed to an actual score. There are also fruit and other food targets that appear after eating a certain number of Pac dots that change the format of the maze, which can catch the opposing players off guard, if you want to try and play for endurance as opposed to speed. And this game can get a little bit annoying, though not long, to complete all the missions. Keep in mind that collision with another Pac-Man bounces you backward, and I could easily have gotten hit by Blinky there. Luckily, he ran right in the pinky and won me the round. So, whatever. Idiot. That was a very bad moment to reverse your direction. So yeah, that was Pac-Man Battle Royale. Very anticlimactic game. Definitely a game to be played with multiple players as opposed to playing solo. Outside of completing all the missions, of course. So, there you go. Now we move on to the home console games. These games do not require you to use tokens. So, there's 7 of these. I did this game on my channel pretty recently, just because somebody requested it. And that's Pac Attack. It's an SNES rendition of another game called Cosmo Gang the Puzzle, which happens to be on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System NS2 app, by the way. And the SNES version of Cosmo Gang the Puzzle has Pac Attack's puzzle mode. In the normal game, you just survive as long as you can while stacking blocks to clear lines and making the Pac-Man eat the ghosts. Some people call it a Namco rendition of Tetris. So, there's not much to say here, so I'll just play a few rounds in puzzle mode. You know what's really scary about this game with the missions? It's trying to reach level 110 while playing Hyper. That's one of the hardest missions in the game. I did it though. I did it somehow. Every stage in puzzle mode also has a password if you want to continue later. And you can reverse Pac-Man's direction only in the puzzle mode. So, there's that. You can unlock that game after playing a couple of games of the next game that I'm about to play, which was also on the Super Nintendo. In this game, as you see here, Pac-Man was banished into the past by a witch that controls the ghosts, and was even turned into a child, with the creatures of the world turning against him due to her black magic. It's a platformer game where you control Kid Pac-Man throughout various stages, while trying to survive in different ways. And you bounce like that as well. To complete the stage, you must eat all or most of the Pac dots until the counter reaches 0 in the lower left corner, and then go through a door. There are also 4 colored rings that'll add or remove an ability for Pac-Man to use. You start with some of them and not others on different stages. The green ring gives Pac-Man a hook shot that he can use to rappel along ceilings and swing. You start with the fireball, which is a yellow ring in this stage. Then there's a blue ring that allows you to swim underwater. and a red ring that gives you a hammer that you can use to smash certain objects. If you take damage, there are food targets that you can pick up to recover some health. Odd, that chest typically has an extra life. Oh well. Unlike all of the other home console games, this game does support pause saving. There's also a password system that allows you to continue later with the password you're given after every 5 stages. Although there's also a master password that you can look up that allows you to start the game on any stage at all you want. With the fireball, that ram will be a lot less scary. I haven't played this game all the way through yet, because it does take a while to beat some of the stages, as a lot of them require extensive thinking and trying to figure out what to do with them, and where to go with them. And because it's not necessary for missions, you only have to complete the entirety of the mountain area for a Pac-Man Museum Plus missions. Like, minimum. So. The infamous ghosts also appear. I hit that one at the very moment I hit a power pellet. Nice. That back dodge. Now it can go. Alright, so there's that game. One of my personal favorites, Pac-Man Arrangement from Namco Museum Battle Collection. You should be able to totally skip the red screens in this game, and you can't. So, whatever. This Pac-Man Arrangement is very different from the arcade Pac-Man Arrangement, and I like the PlayStation Portable game better than the arcade game, because it's just cooler with what you can do in it, and I can one credit clear it legitimately on normal on command. It's really fun and actually kind of easy once you get used to playing the game. I really miss Galaga and Dig Dug Arrangement. You should know. At least I can still play the Pac-Man one, huh? There are cool bosses throughout the game, and a few different power-ups and how they work differently compared to the other Pac-Man arrangements. Dash arrows are permanent in every stage instead of single use. It's just better. way to get the ghost and the dot simultaneously. Just like the other arrangement, this game also has to be unlocked. You can unlock it by playing Pac-Man Championship Edition. Now, even on the new hardware, this game takes a while to load up, so... yeah. Pac-Man Championship Edition is a freaking awesome Pac-Man game, where you're given 5 or 10 minutes to eat as many Pac dots and clear as many screens as you can, while avoiding the ghosts with limited stocks. You can get crazy big points for doing well in this game, and see how well you can survive within the limit that you have. You can get extra lives throughout the game by doing well and getting a lot of points. This game is honestly very fun, and I absolutely love it, so... as you can imagine, I do play this a lot of most of the games in this compilation. I'll just do the solo game for 5 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next game. fantastic Pac-Man game, that is. Except for Extra Mode 1. That mode sucks. Other than that, though, that's a fantastic game. So... here's another one of my more favorites in this set, Pac-Motos, which I haven't finished on the new console yet. Because I didn't need to. I just wanted to unlock all the missions. Just like the original 1985 arcade game Motos, you hit all of the space bugs off the base to complete the stage, while avoiding getting hit off yourself. This was a part of Namco Museum Remix and Mega Mix on the Wii. There are also various power-ups you can pick up to enhance your performance and stand more of a chance against the enemies. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory and very fun game. So, yeah. If you want to see the whole game, I already did it on my channel. So, you can find it in my playlists. To unlock that game, you need to play a couple of stages first in this game, Pac N Roll. Pac N Roll was originally a Nintendo DS game released in 2004, and then they made a slightly different version of it for the Wii as a part of Namco Museum Remix and Mega Mix. An evil rocker ghost named Golvis comes to life and strips the Pac people of their arms and legs, and Pac-Man, under the help of a fairy, has to roll himself like a ball to travel through stages while he eats Pac dots and confronts goals. Many stages have gates that require you to eat a certain number of Pac dots in order to progress. Some of these stages can be very difficult to navigate. This game is honestly pretty fun. I've seen speedrunners play this game and do some pretty cool techniques in them, and I really wish I was better at this game than I am. If I get better at it, maybe I'll do a full Let's Play of it. So, we'll see. Pac-Motos was a lot easier. And it kinda helps that Motos is one of my favorite arcade games by Namco. Yahoo! So yeah. I played every stage in this game already, because you have to beat every single stage for missions. Unlike Pac-Motos, technically, so... you actually start with only 3 hit points, and you can get an extra hit point in each of the worlds by picking up what looks like a pizza power-up. That permanently increases Pac-Man's health by 1 point. Try to find them. You have to dash in order to make some parts, and brake in order to make some other parts. Talk about well hidden. Alright, that's going to be it for this game for now. Moving on to the next one. There's only one game left to play in this set. This is some kind of mobile game made by Crossy Roads creators. A mobile game about chicken crossing the road. You might see by the look of certain coins and elements in the game. This game is very trolly. So yeah. It's a reference to the original arcade Pac-Man's infamous stage glitch, of course. And the game itself is extremely tedious and trolly, making it kind of fun, though also very aggravating to play Pac-Man Museum Plus. Have fun completing all of this game's missions. There are also tokens, which I'll show you what those are for later on. That's my computer struggling to process the recording. Obviously. There are also missions you can complete to get more tokens, which I strongly recommend doing while you're completing the missions. And memorizing how the ghosts move in the game is also key. So. The fruit will multiply your score temporarily as well. Wow. Way to get absolutely cornered. There are various power-ups that you unlock as you play the game that allow you to defend yourself against the ghosts. You can upgrade these with your tokens that you earn. And with each upgrade, up to level 8, they double in point value that you need to redeem to unlock them. And that can make getting the 10 level 8 power-ups mission extremely tedious to do. It'll take days or hours on end of playing the game to get that mission. There are also different backdrops you can use as well. Shuffle will give you a randomly selected one. And yeah, that's that silly game. Let's take a look at what else you can do in the arcade room. On the original Nintendo Switch, the game room runs at 30 frames per second. On the new console and other consoles, it runs at 60 frames per second. There is a vending machine that allows you to purchase decorations you've already unlocked so that you can have more of them at once in your arcade if you want. Those will differ day by day. And there's a Gashapon, which is a product of Bandai, that'll give you a different figure from a dispenser that you can also use to decorate your arcade. You'll be cashing in good tokens to get every single one of them, and you can get more as downloadable content. Without the DLC, I do have all of them in the game, going downward. At least one of all of them. Some of these are missing a silver. And finally, there is a jukebox that allows you to play most of the songs from the games at will in the game room. And it'll continue to play that song until you select to stop or pause it from the jukebox afterward. To customize your arcade, press X for the Switch version in Customize, and select a blank spot to add the decoration. You can unlock multiple arcade cabinets for each of the games for whatever reason, which doesn't serve much of a purpose other than just to change their color. And there are a variety of different decorations that you can put in your arcade and rearrange them like an actual arcade room. A maximum of 70 accessories can be used at once. I'm just using a handful of each because I'm not that greedy. These are the Gashapon figures I showed earlier. There are various wallpapers that you can unlock and use as you complete missions as well. And even more were added to the game as free content with software updates. They added some for summer, which I am currently using, because it is summer as of this recording. They have Halloween ones, and they have holiday and New Year's ones. There are some floor colors you can use, and that's the decoration. And now, the staff credits. As the staff credits roll, it'll show you a chronicle listing all the games in the set in chronological order. So, here you go. Make sure on your own that you play through the entire credits, by the way, to unlock that song. Alright, consider subscribing if you like any of the franchises I have listed here, because I do play them a lot and want to talk about them more. I am also a hobbyist artist that makes fan art of certain characters and game franchises that I like, and will occasionally come out with a let's play of some retro games that I have, or mostly retro games, that I might want to do for my channel. So to be quite honest, I do have quite a lot planned. So feel free to check out my other Namco, arcade, or other retro videos that I have done already, because I already did quite a lot of them with more to come. And I will keep updated as frequently as I possibly can. At least weekly, with at least how to draw videos. So with that, it's going to wrap up the Pac-Man Museum Plus General Showcase video. I am Colster, Master Opponent. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on my next upload, whatever the content in it might be.